very warm welcome to this eve of International Women's Day and the day when we celebrate Holi, the festival of colors here in India. Both these festivities have connotation to the very workshop we are the part of. The workshop represents the strength of women, as both our speakers are females, of course, and along with most of the participants as well. And we all are celebrating the knowledge enhancement here from the different parts of the world and the country. A kind of a symbolic Holi, festival of colors, is the essence of this final eve of our workshop. I wish you all a very happy Holi and International Women's Day. So this is the day third and the final day of our 3-day international virtual workshop on research and publication. Once again, I, Professor Manjuwala, as the moderator of the session, on behalf of Cape Common Trust, welcome our renowned speakers and the scholarly participants to the last evening of the workshop, the platform where we all are learning a lot of new things on the topic research and publication, where our brilliant speakers give information and insightful presentations. This is an interactive learning platform offered to us by Cape Comorin Trust to enhance our knowledge and to add to the pre-existing knowledge. So it is providing us the global exposure through the speakers who are greatest in their fields and scope. The exposure that our participants have here with the world renowned speaker is very informative and of course mind-opening to new possibilities as well. I congratulate President Cape Comorin Trust, Dr. Reason Sylvester, for having brought this opportunity to the learner participants who progressively seek to add to their knowledge. And I take this opportunity to congratulate Dr. Shalja Vasudeva for winning 4 national and international awards on this very day. So once again, congratulations to her. And for last 2 days, each evening, two highly renowned speakers used to grace our evening sessions with their informative and enlightening topics. Each day we have learned something new, and many of our doubts are also getting cleared in the process of learning. As a part of the formal commencement of the workshop, I will start the session with a brief introduction of our first guest and speaker, Professor Dr. Nada Retkovic. She is a multitasking global educationist. She is a professor, trainer, educator, researcher, reviewer, international speaker, moderator, motivational speaker, motivator as well, project manager, and social worker. She has many designations to her name, including assistant professor in the Faculty of Economics, Business and Tourism, Split University, Split, Croatia. She is professor in VET High School, and she is the co-founder of International Internship University Europe. She is the board member of IIU, the world's first virtual university. She is country director and administrative core team member of IIU. She is the president of IIU Research Center International Internship University. And she's a very active educator for teachers and professors at the Center of Excellence, Teacher for Teacher. She is Microsoft Innovative Educator and Minecraft Global Mentor. She's a certified accountant and certified ISO internal auditor. She has honorary doctorates in human rights, social rights, and entrepreneurship. Her specialized fields are statistics, math, informatics, ecology, STEM economy, business, tourism, entrepreneurship, accounting, and human rights. Taking a brief note of her academic background, she has master's degree in economics and master's degree in mechanical engineering. She holds PhD in statistics and finishing in informatics. She has a diploma as a computer informatics STEM expert. She is also a computer science expert, information system manager, and designer of ERP Infosystem. The area of her work, contribution, and expertise is surprisingly immensely vast. Along with the roles and designations she is holding, She is also having honorary roles in many government and non-government organizations as a global community leader, Globe Peace Ambassador, World Peace Ambassador, SDG Ambassador, International Advisor, Country Director, Country Coordinator, and Dynamic uh, Educationist, and World Ambassador, etc. She is also the founder and the coordinator of many national and global projects. She writes scientific articles in domestic and international journals and work reviews of international authors. She is an editor board member in many journals. She has authored and co authored many university and high school books and handbooks. She makes digital material and books for cross curricular topics and makes columns for evaluation for specialized education publishing houses and video lectures for education and training. She is a social activist on global and national level. She has organized numerous humanitarian and volunteer actions all over the world, Humanity at Work, Save Africa, and much more. Promoting child self worth, she also works on women empowerment and women's entrepreneurship as a member of Women's Empowerment Forum. For her contribution on national and international level, each year she wins many awards, recognitions, diplomas, certificates, and medals. She has to her name Croatia Best Teacher Awards, National Women Awards, Croatia Public Awards, International STEM Awards, International Educator of the Year, Award of Excellence, Best Women Researcher, Best Ambassador Award, Best Global Professor, Best Teacher using Digital Media, Corona Warrior Award, Peace Ambassador Award, Excellence Award, Globe Statistics Award, and Most Courageous Women Award, Golden Start Teachers Award, Yellow Frame Award, Most Inspired Women Award, Best Presenters Award, to mention a few out of so many more awards and achievements she keeps winning on in various fields. She is one of the greatest global educators who inspired the world and deserves a place in Golden Book. There is so much more I could touch on, but there is a constraint of time. So, ma'am, I would apologize over here. So, we come to now the today's topic. So, our esteemed speaker is going to enlighten us on the topic research and publication, which is again one of the fields she is a specialist of. Please help me in welcoming our multi-talented, versatile, multi-dimensional, skilled speaker, Dr. Nara Ratkovic. Over to you, ma'am.
Heartfelt thanks, gratitude to Dr. Silva, to Dr. Vasudevas for this amazing opportunity. I want to wish a happy Holi to all the Indians. This is for me the most beautiful festival. I like all that colors. Also for all the women, the strong, powerful women, happy International Women's Day. Today, I'm really honored to be here on this great global conference on the research and publication. I want to let me try to share my screen. Is it visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
Not yet. Okay. Okay. Now?
I'm afraid not yet. Yeah, it is kind of coming. Yes, ma'am, it is visible now.
Okay, thank you. So today, my topic is research and publication. Thank you for your kind introduction. As I'm coming from Croatia, this is my university. This is also my higher school, and I can say that I'm really honored and proud that I have two great jobs in my country and also a lot on the international level. So let's start from the research. We are talking today about the research and publication, and we need to know all what is research. So according to the American sociologists, we need to know that it is really defined like a consideration careful. We need to define it very careful. Why? Because research needs to have in its definition description, because we are describing, especially in descriptive statistics. We need to explain what it means. Explain. We need to give our interpretation, because if we give only number and if we don't explain what it is, it don't have a sense. Predict. We can make predictions. We see, like example, the inflation in my country now is 10%. I can make prediction for 5 to 6 years for this problem. Then we can control all this what we are observing. So it is really a phenomena. It is a phenomena, and it depends about that. Even we are making qualitative research, quantitative research, mixed research, we need to involve the methods. And last time I was talking about the methods and the methodology, explaining the difference, and also explaining that it is not same to use inductive or deductive method. And we have today this study. We need this study today. Everything what we are doing, every problem, if we want to solve them, we need to first make a research for any one project. So research is a main part of all curricula in the high school, colleges, and the universities. So we need to make it helpful, because if we want solve anything for everybody, it needs to be very important, and it is giving us information. And we know that today that information is for us the most important things, especially the data. But we know that we have a big problem finding the datas. The datas today, tomorrow are already old. So that is our problem when we are making a research, and especially if we want to find the bases, the free bases. We know that we have so many bases, but uh, at some bases we cannot get a free contact. So our goal is, we have so many goals of the research, and it is for us helpful. It is giving us to provide. We need a best solution. We need a best solution for the things what we are doing, for the problems what we are solving, and it is helping us to make a huge knowledge, get more experience. More we research, we are more richer. We are more richer. And as we know that our most biggest capital is our human capital, I mean our knowledge. So in research we have so many cases. We need to follow the steps. We have case to make a very successful research, and we need to make, and we need to first define the main questions. If we don't have the main questions, that is a problem, because the questions and the answer will lead us through our research. So it will give us, even we are making invention, innovation, patent, our ideas, and all our steps, our improvements need to be made through this process. So if we want to have that very useful, and we also think on that. Sometimes we think that we didn't make something good. Everything what we do good, if we start and if we finish, it has a positive impact on the society, on the economy, helping our students to learn, because we know that our mission is to give the knowledge to our students. And yes, if we are not doing that, We will not help nobody, even ourselves, and we will not make advance in our career and in our work. So research is to see what everybody else has seen, so everybody can see that, and we can think what nobody else has thought. And that is, I can say, something special, because no one of us, we see the problems, but we are giving other solutions. We are giving what we think that is the best for everything, for every problem we have today. So the questions are coming our future. Our questions are our future, and we know, if we start from the research, from the work, from the capital, from the knowledge, we know, and we can plan our future in any field. In any field, we can make that predictions. I can say that India has so great researchers, so great inventors, so many universities, so many research centers. So I can say that it is really a source of knowledge. It is really a source of knowledge, and it can be, and it for me, it is really on the global level. We are doing our research. After doing the research, why we are not making that for only for make that. We want to have a result. We have, I can say, we want to have a product, and our product is our article. So we are publishing our researchers in the journals. So we will see what type of journal, what we want, what we try. So we need to discover what is good for us making the publish. We have so many researchers that are on the monthly base, they are writing research articles. I have one great researcher who made in 1 year more than 50 high rated articles, published 30 books. So you see, there are so many great researchers who are doing that and who are giving us and for us researchers, science, and for our students, amazing literature, amazing results. And also, like a reviewer in many journals, I have an opportunity to read so many different kind of articles, and that is for me also learning. I'm also learning on that way. So many aspects of the research can look and make our editors a journal. Today, so many journals we have, but it is a hard process. It is a hard process to be a well-reputed journal, because we know today you need to publish work more than 2 years if you want to apply for Scopus. So every start is very hard, but if we want to come to achieve our goal, we really need to work, and we can continue. So research and publication, as I say, the peer-reviewed literature represents the knowledge of a field. That depends about the field. So each author is giving his contribution, is trying to give the best quality for that what he is working, uh, taking care about the ethics. It is very important, taking care about the ethics when he's conducting the research. And we know that what can be a journal article. We need to have all that standards and that findings. And if we want to make a broader public, because it is today very hard to find a broader public, because the trade, I can say, the trade is a place where we have a supply and a demand, and it is very hard to make and to all our pioneers on the trade. We need to have something special to be recognized on that trade. And that I mean when I'm talking about the journals, and that journals have very rigorous peer review process. We see that there are so many fake journals. Even some fake journals, you can make a database, you can make all. Even some journals are using your name and you never hear about them. They are somewhere in Australia, in America, and that are the fake journals. So what are the difference between research paper and publication? That is not the same. That is not the same. Even we are saying, this is my publication, I write a publication, I write a research paper. So journal is something as a right that it is a dream of our students and scholars, especially when they are making first research paper. When the students make the first research paper, so many students when they are graduating or finishing their master, they are making their research paper with their professors on the university, and that is great when their first research paper is cited highly. A journal is something that is collecting your articles from various topics. And with the research paper is a study on a specific topic. So that is a difference. When we say publication, we think on the journal publication. And when you say research paper, we think on a study. So this is very important. Where will we put our studies, our research paper? We need to put them in a publication in the journal. And here all the reputable journals will increase their visibility and the credibility. So a publication is a book, magazine, newspaper, document, act, or making information or writing something available in a printed form. Uh, like example, publication is a periodical literature. In Croatia, we have a Croatia search a place for the for our researches, for our bases. We have a Croatia. In Europe we have a Eurostat, and it has so many periodical literature bases on the daily. We have daily bases, week bases, and year basis, and that we can put here all the newspaper, magazines, and all the journals. Why is necessary to have a publication? So what is the main purpose of having a publication? We want it. We have an audience. The audience are students, research scholars, scientists, innovators. So we want to make it available to the general public. How to make that? What will we use? What the different countries are using different things, but the role of a publication is everywhere the same. We want and we need to help to make a dissemination of the findings and observations. Today, I in Croatia can make a research on the same topic like someone in India or anywhere, but we are disseminating. We will not make the same observations and the same findings. So that is, I can say, that is something what is so unique and special in that. So how to make a research coalition? Why we need a coalition? How can we benefit the literature through the research? So in many countries, I said there are different uses from the text, images, even they are making newspapers, magazines. Today we have so many online newspapers, online magazines. Online is something that is for us normal. I also don't buy newspaper, magazines, everything I read on the internet. First step is always that we need to prepare for the publication. How we are preparing for the publication? The first step is always finding the time to think. Do we have that time to think? Today we are all in the hurry. We are in the same time. We are making 10 things. Today, Women's Day. Today, so many are on 10, need to be on 10 places. And if you want to write a quality research paper, or if you want to prepare for publication, you need to think on that. You need to put all your minds on that. Then, after you find the time to think, you need to have time to write. In the morning at the work, in the afternoon at the work, participating conferences, organizing conferences, making competitions. So we are all busy. We need to find the time to write. So think on that, find time, then prepare a case report. What kind of case will you make? What kind of report? You need to collect data. Sorry. Data are very, very important. Then you need to select a journal for submission. Many science are already only selecting a few journals for the submission. Then you need to submit your paper. But my opinion is now, why not try to choose different journals? You don't need only to put in 3 journals. How to submit your paper. So each one step you need to have a knowledge how to do that. Then dealing with reviews. All know that our article will come at the peer reviewer, and we will have our opinion not from one reviewer. Minimum we will have from 2 reviewer, and somewhere we also have 3 reviewer. So it depends also about the reviews. What will our reviewer, what conclusion will it be for, like example, for accepting your paper, or it will be with little modifications, or you will be rejected from that journal. How to deal with a rejected manuscript. So we need to know that each one publication, each one journal have the rules, but they have their steps. I mean, the description, but it is not so different. It is not so different. So we will see what makes the differences from one manuscript to another manuscript, and at the end we need to have a conclusion. So, what is the research publication process? First, choosing a journal. Then, writing your paper, making your submission, navigating the peer review process, and the production process. So, this is the same, only it is put in the 5 steps. Here, we didn't mention that we need to think on think on what we want to write, that we need to find time to write. So these are my choosing a journal, writing your paper, making your submission, going through the process of your peer review and the production process. So this is one. It is not, but I use it because here, when our authors are giving us, this is like example 1 journal publication procedure. So prepare your manuscript with good quality. Check your article by the plagiarism. So this is little detail, but we will go through all these steps. Again, here are some options today from every side. We are getting emails, messages. There are so many organizations that are working on this, and they are offering you for a price to to publish your work in the Scopus, in the SCI, and then they're going saying it is Q1, Q2. So I'm sure that every one of you are getting this type of emails and type of messages, and they are offering you this. So first we need to know what are the standard in the journal. Like example, SCI provides username, password. You can track your paper. You can free page journals available. Paper quality must plagiarism below. So every one of this has the characteristics, but everywhere it is plagiarism below than 10 authenticate. So we have today so many programs that we can check is it plagiarism. Also how we can check grammatic and all everything what we need. But here you see 90 days for publication, 60 days. You choose UGC is offering you 7 days for your publication. An excerpt 90 days, Q1 journal 60 days, 60 days, 60 days. So this is trying for publication in top journals. So let's see. Paper publication in good journal, publishing paper in well-reputed journals. So first one here I mentioned is IEEE. IEE. What it means? It is unlimited. We have this full text access in journals, and it has a rankings at the top of the domains. We know where we see. When we see that our work here will be in IE, we know that it is in a part of the engineering, where we have today the high-end technology. So this is exchange with technical knowledge. We have technology. And here we have so many affairs and huge variants if we are talking about this journal. This journal is where here are almost the professionals and the science from the field of technology. And today from artificial intelligence, Internet of Things, blockchain. So this part of our publishing here, and they also have the conferences with this IEE. Springer, we know that Springer is coming from America. It is American publishing company, also for the journals, books, but it is for the social work, psychology, public health, restoration. I can say for tourism. Springer is also here covering science, technology, social science, and here to be a reviewer in the Springer, you need to go through a process. You need to have also a number of your articles already accepted in these high reputed journals. Elsevier, it is noted like the world's one of the fast growing open access publisher, giving you to your work, to your business, helping you, and it is working for the benefit of humanity. There is an open access home for all your research, and we have in Elsevier millions of researchers. Can you read their work from the Elsevier? Scopus. Scopus is an Elsevier's abstract, and it is a real citation database. So it is the best abstract and citation database for all journals. One of the largest, most reputable abstract and citation database for academic literature. If you want to publish your research work in Scopus, you need to know that you need to be gold listed and cited on the best ever database for people to recognize. So so many want to be an SCI in the Scopus. So we really need to know how to publish in Scopus Index Journal. Today, I said we have so many organizations that are offering you how to learn step by step the process for a research paper, and also it is not you need to pay, but when you learn this process, I can say that it is really great, and then you are sure that your work will be in this high reputed journal. So what it means for us, putting the papers, publishing the papers, submitting our writing in this high impact journals. Learning this, that is a imperative. That is a very good imperative for all, for the science, for the academicians, for the innovators, and I can say that. For you, this has have a big value, a high value for you, like a science. You can make a big collaboration with great science all over the globe. If we want to conduct here, I want to say this is very important. Acceptance rate of less than 10% are not unheard of among the most prestigious scientific journals. So there are so many manuscript submissions, they're standing out of that. So the situation is undoubtedly challenging, but it is not hopeless. But we need to be very optimistic. We need to be very optimistic because when we start to do something and when we follow when we follow the instructions, and if we have a good guide and we are taking care about step by step using that guide, we can make that, we can publish that. So if not first time, second time, third time, you will make a success. So there's so many strategies which can help you to publish in the high impact journals. So you first they will ensure you to put your manuscript and prepare your submission in that kind of the paper. I'm sure that all of us here have so many friends and so many academicians, science who are already very successful, and I'm sure they are all ready to help you, in your I can say in your great adventure, because this is a really adventure. You can take this you can use this from the journal. We know that the journal have the aim, have the scope. So we can make that research and we can focus on that, and we can be really prepared for submission of the of if we want to publish that in the high impact journals. So not making only single test of methods, we can make we can combine, we can not single, because if we make a single method, it is hard to make a success and to get it accepted. We can make so many combination. We can make combination of different approaches, different experiments, technologies. We can make tests. We need to test them, especially if we want it to be to be in the in it to be submitted. So that that data need to be based on the excellent data. We need to choose them very carefully, make analysis of them from the introduction to the conclusion. Also, it is really good to give to your colleague to read, to check what you make. So this is why I write, sharing your paper with trusted colleagues, mentors, and friends to see if your discoveries come across like something very impressive or meaningful, or is that an excellent idea? Sometimes you think that you have an excellent idea, but somebody who is reading that, if he cannot get a conclusion, if he don't recognize that that idea, something, uh, so that is the same way. If your trusted colleague mentor check that before, then some reviewer, peer reviewer, it is better. It is better for you to check that. So learning how to publish also involves work, a lot of work. We need to follow, as I said, the instructions, the guidelines from the authors. Then we need to make a preparation. If we want this paper be submitted in this high impact journal, we can make more submissions that we can publish. So that is why some academics and science will choose a target journal first and then write it to suit it. If we are talking about the manuscript, even we know that the manuscript can be scientific manuscript, academic manuscript. It needs to be well written. It needs to be well written. We need to have all the methods, results, analysis, conclusions. What the authors before you write, if they write something similar, or if your study is not new, already somebody is writing. So what is the contribution for the future researchers? So remember that we need to avoid pardon, we need to avoid the jargon. Then we need to avoid technical terminology and non-standard abbreviations, because that things can confuse the readers. Sometimes you need to use a very similar words to describe something. Then even you use some abbreviations, because abbreviations, there are so many who don't understand that. So to tell your story, to engage your story, to give a important part for it, you need to explain exactly everything. You need to explain exactly everything about your research. What will your research provide? Who is the audience? Who is the audience for your research? How the audience will find how will audience find the knowledge, how the audience will understand your field. So maybe you are giving some new directions, new idea, or some paradigms for the future research, because we need to give something for the future research. Also, a confident tone using the active voice will produce a concise and style for the most high impact journals. You need to have excellent tables, figures, which visualizations. We know today infographics are very important. How and on this way, the readers will understand your field, will make the findings of your idea. Also, errors in grammar, spelling, punctuation. So the research data and background information must be eliminated. So do edit and proofread your work with care. Proofread on and edit with care. So take care about all this. Then you need to pay a special attention on the title and abstract of your paper. Even the first part of the manuscripts are editor and peer reviewers of that journal you want to see. So there are always some elements, there are guidelines, there are many scientific journals, there are so many abstracts you can read. You need to be sure in every detail what you are writing. So that title needs to have a main message of your research, and it needs to have a summary. It needs to write about your paper's background, about the methodology, the findings, and the conclusions. So many people, so many readers, science are confused with the language. How to avoid the confusing language? It needs to be an imperative. It needs to be an imperative of your title and your abstract in the main paper. So the references, sources, tables, figures should not be included. Remember that a poorly written title or subtract will frustrate and lose readers. You will lose your readers if you write it poorly. You want to impress your starting wants to be, it needs to be impressed. So uh, people, readers need to go and to find this through the services. Okay, after title, we need to have appropriate keywords in the title, and abstract will assure and ensure you that it is discovered by the readers once it is published. So this manuscript needs to have a structure, headings, tables, figures, references, and all elements what are necessary to the guidelines and are demonstrating you. So take strictly the length limits, submission procedures, and publishing deadlines. That is very necessary for you, as well as a professional approach. Professional approach for your content, and your content needs to be a research content and paper as well. So a few things strike can fear in the academics than research paper, like terms, synonyms with long hours and hard work. So there's a secret to help you get through them. As long as you know how to write a research paper properly, you will find they are not so bad, or at least less painful. This is what some authors are saying. Long as you know how to write properly write, and so bad, at least less very painful. Painful it will be if it will be rejected. If it will be rejected. So we come to the research paper again. We come again, and I will go through this little. It is a type of academic writing, and we know that they can be essays that they can use the data statistical. It can make what research papers. This is one definition: are a bedrock of modern science and the most effective way to share information across a wide network. This is a great definition. This is a great definition. Bedrock of the modern science, and sharing and caring all your informations across the wide network. So how long should be a research paper? How it is depending on the topic. Like example, typical research paper runs around, you see, 4,000 to 6,000 words. But it is common to see short papers around 2,000 words, or long papers over 10,000 words. Let your topic dictate the length. It also depends about the topic. So the length should be provided. And if you are writing a paper for school, otherwise you can make a very complicated topic, and then it will require more explanation. Especially today, you you have a new innovation, you have a patent, you need to make a very extensive research. You need to give more explanations for that type of work. If we are talking about academic writing, there are the main characteristics of the academic writing. First, we need to use a specific style. We need to use a specific style guide. What it means, specific style guide? You will lose your credit if you don't have to adhere to the style guide in your writing. So, two of the main style guides for academic writing we have MLA and APA, the Modern Language Association Guide, and the American Psychological Association. Also, we have others. Others can include the American Medical Association, American Chemical Society. Then we have the Chicago Manual of Science. So each of these styles can have the specific rules. Have the specific rules. How can you make your format, and how can you write, and how can you cite the sources you are using? So academic writing should be formal, clear, and concise. Academic writing uses prescriptive grammar. Formatting will depend on your style guide. These three characteristics that define the academic writing. Types of academic writing. We have variety types. Like example, essay. What is an essay? Essay is a short piece of writing. We know that. It is like a research paper, make specific point, but it is relatively short piece of the writing. We have theses and dissertations. Thesis refers to the project of the master's program or for the bachelor program. Then dissertation, we know it is used for the doctoral program, for the project that culminates a doctoral program. So thesis for the master's program, dissertation for the doctoral program. Both are created through the candidate's research under the guidance of the academic advisor. Then we have a research proposal. What is a research proposal? Research proposal is a document, and it is formally requesting sponsorship or funding to support the author's academic research. What it means, we have the outlines that the authors can plan to conduct the research, way they want to conduct the specific research, and what is the aim to accomplish through the research. So that is a researcher proposal outline, how to plan, how to conduct, how to accomplish your research through the research, this research, and their research. Research papers is one of this. So again, every research paper has what? Has a thesis statement and the statement of the author. Our author is always giving the thesis, giving the position, and summarizing what he will write and the author's understanding of the subject that he is researching. Literature review. What is a literature review? It is a piece of academic writing. What it is doing? It is summarizing, it is describing, it is evaluating your topic. It is evaluating your topic through the analyze. And you can make the review through 2 or more works. And these works can be books, articles, presentations, dissertations, or other published material. So a literature review can make this examination, and you can make this evaluation through the work. Academic writing structure. We have this as academic writing. We need to use formal language, who is close to the style guide, and structure needs to be clear. We need to have a clear structure. So that is why we have this type of outlines. Introduction that clearly states the thesis and aims of your work. Second is position, finding, challenge, supporting the thesis. So here we have supporting content, and then we come to the position, finding, challenges, supporting the thesis. Again, fourth is the same, and we have the conclusion. So you see 3, 4, and 2 are the same. Position, finding, challenge, supporting the pardon, the thesis. So again, we come to the length of the work. We need to have around dissertation around 150 to 300 pages. Citations depends on your style guide. on your style guide you are using. So it depends about, are you using MLA, APA, or CMS? So you get most commonly used style guides, advising format. Information will include the author's name, the name of the work you're citing, work's copyright date, and work's publisher. Each style has the guidelines that I say already. If we don't complete our citation, then it can be a plagiarism. So we have specific examples of plagiarism. We need to take care about the plagiarism. That is when we are acting, presenting the work, ideas, all of that. So plagiarism is filing to the site. We need to cite everything. So this is the possible consequences of the plagiarism. A lower grade, it can be a failure of the course, failure of the segment, removal from the academic program, suspension or expulsion from your university. So do we want that happen to us? We don't want that, because we today respect our job. We Our job is everything what we have today, so we need to take care. We need to cite everything. Then we have academic writing types. I already said that they refer to the style guide. So we need to actively avoid the plagiarism. Think about that. We do not need to use contractions, because the contractions are difference between the formal and informal writing. We don't need to take it personally, because we need to write it in the third person. The first person and the second person are not appropriate for the academic writing. We need to write in the third person. So Grammarly, we need to put a Grammarly editor. We have so many free Grammarly editors. We need to use the academic domain for our work. So uh, here, I think that I already come to the end of my time. So I think here are the basic steps in the research process. All of us here need to know. I will go only through them quickly. First is identify and develop your topic. Then just select your topic for the personal interest. Select the topic which you can find, amount of information, be original, be always original, because we know there are so many research papers. Still can come up with a topic to write about. When you identified your topic, you must help it to state it. Like example, in European, if I want to take care about the epidemic of European population, what are the causes of the obesity in Europe, then the step 2 is do a preliminary search for information. 3 is locate your materials. You need to locate your materials. If you are looking for books, printing things, citation information, authors, notes, note all that, locate that. Use electronic periodical databases. We know that we have Google, Yahoo, so many internet resources we have. You need to evaluate your sources. This is very important when we are using internet resources. We need to make notice always about the author, title, publisher, or all information we need to make and create a bibliography. Write your paper. That is the step 6. You want to write the paper. We need to organize all that we collect. We need to cite it properly. I say it again, MLA, API. They are the 2 popular citation formats that we are using. Proofreading. What is the proofreading? We need to make this final step of proofreading. It needs to have a structural edit. So this is when the reviewer is going through your paper. Is your statement clear and concise? Is your paper well organized? Do you follow your idea? Does it have a logical sequence of the paragraphs? concrete details, facts, figures, arguments? Did you avoid the repetition? Are your sources properly cited? And have you checked your accidental plagiarism? Word choice, grammar, and spelling. Edit. So here are my references. I use some books. Let's learn and grow together. Thank you for your attention. Nada can talk whole day, but I see that my time is ended.
Manju ma'am, you are not audible.
Do you, do you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Am I audible now?
Yes, yes, you are, but I don't hear you really good.
Manju ma'am, you are not audible.
So the house is open for questions. All the participants who have queries, they can address their queries and questions to a person speaker. So all the queries and questions
Manju
are
ma'am, you are
welcome.
not audible.
Excuse me, Manju ma'am, you are not audible.
Yes, ma'am, I'm trying. I don't know. There might be some signal issue, but am I audible now?
No, you are not audible.
Okay.
Kindly keep your earphone in front.
Okay. Um, can I? Am I audible now? Can I be heard?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes. So the house is open for discussion, and all the participants who have some queries and question, they can come forward with them, and of course, ma'am will definitely clarify them. Over to all of the participants now. Yes, if there are any queries and questions, so all the queries and questions are welcome on the parts of the participants. They can ask Dr. Nara Redkovic. Ma'am, I think there are no queries because you have taken the session so inclusively. So every query is already answered, I think. Thank you very much for gracing the session. It has been very wonderful to have you. It is an honor for all of us. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. So now I would proceed.
Nada ma'am, your mic is off.
I want to say thanks once again to Dr. Shailia for this opportunity. Thank you for the bottom of my heart, my beautiful and lovely friend. Once again, I want to congratulate a Happy Women's International Day.
Thank you so much, dear, and wishing you the same. Happy International Women's Day. You are a powerful woman in this world. You are achieving a lot. Congratulations, ma'am. Many congratulations, dear friend.
Thank you. And Manju, Mrs. also, and all the ladies here today on this great platform.
Thank you, ma'am. Honor is ours. It has been a great honor to see you, to meet you, and to have you. Thank you. Uh, Now I want to take this opportunity to introduce our second esteemed guest and the speaker of the day. So I would like to give a little brief biographical note of Dr. Dibali Sharma Bhandari. She is an assistant professor in English in the Department of Higher Education of Himachal Pradesh. She is presently serving at Government Degree College, Bharali, Anj Bhoj in district Sirmaur. She has been serving in the cadre for last 17 years. She has also served as assistant professor at Government Degree College, Thalisain, Uttarakhand for 2 years prior to joining Department of Higher Education, Himachal Pradesh. Talking about her academic background, she did her MPhil and PhD from HNB University, Srinagar, Garhwal. And her areas of research include translation and gender studies. And she has more than 20 publications in national and international SSCI and Scopus indexed journals. She has presented papers in many national and international conferences and seminars, and she has also presented talks on various platforms. So our guest, Dr. Dipali Sharma Bhandari, is going to speak and present on the topic of research. The title of the topic is Changing Perspectives in Literary Research. We look forward to learn a lot from our esteemed guest. So I hereby present you all our renowned guest, Dr. Dipali Sharma Bhandari. Over to you, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Manjuwala. Am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, very clearly.
A very good evening to all of you. And I'm very, very thankful to Cape Comorin Trust and Lavender Literary Club for giving me this opportunity to speak on such a big platform. And this is a huge venture. And so many speakers from India and abroad have spoken here on various aspects of research and publishing. And what I'm bringing is a presentation on interdisciplinary research in literature. My presentation will discuss interdisciplinary research and how it is valuable in literary research and how it matters in literary studies. We'll also discuss the benefits of interdisciplinary research and delve into the history and the current scenario in interdisciplinary research. So I'll just share my. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is.
Is the aspect okay?
Yes, it is full screen. It is great.
Okay, thank you so much. So I'll go ahead with my presentation. So I'll start with the question what research is and why it is so important. Research, as we know, as Dr. Nada just said, it's an effort to identify and fill the gaps in existing knowledge. It begins with a problem and is driven forth by a desire to find a solution to the said problems. The researcher takes off from a review of existing literature and uses it to substantiate his hypothesis. In a way, literature review helps us in narrowing down the focal point of our research. Now, what is knowledge? Knowledge is systematized information. This is a very basic definition, but I'll start here and then we'll go forth into what we think knowledge is and what actually knowledge represents. Knowledge in its nature is ever expanding. Vast amounts of information are regularly added to the corpus of the existing data. Some of this data fills the gaps between the existing research. However, this continuous addition of information, even despite it, our knowledge remains lacking in one or the other areas. In 1911, Rutherford discovered the nucleus of the atom and proposed that there are protons and electrons are revolving around it. And it was not till 1932 that neutrons were discovered and the gap in knowledge was filled. In between, there were, hypotheses that there is a particle there. There are, theses and let us say propositions that something is there in the nucleus, but it was definitely proven in 1932. So man keeps on adding new information about his environment, to the knowledge already existing in different disciplines, despite this new information keeps popping up, we are faced with more gaps and more researchers required to fill in those gaps. This reminds me of the parable of the blind men and the elephant. The story tells us how different perspectives lead to multiple points of view. It also enforces the idea that different people can have different opinions or perspectives on the same thing. We are all familiar, I hope, with the story of the blind men and the elephant. The story also illustrates how individual mindsets can modify the truth to fit one's own handicap. We are all different, and our interpretations can be as varied and diverse as we ourselves are. All of us think we know best. We do not want to reconcile with the idea that our vision is compromised. We do not see the whole elephant, and rather than trying to resolve the question of what the elephant actually looks like, we end up arguing amongst ourselves rather than solve the issues that need to be fixed. So the question is, what does the elephant signify? The proverbial elephant signifies the corpus of knowledge. Us researchers are the blind men. So we conclude what the elephant is like by theorizing, as per our own limited experience, according to our observations, and we miss vast areas where transitions from one discipline to the other take place. A single perspective is sadly very inadequate in creating a body of knowledge. We must recognize the perspectives of other disciplines before we can visualize the entire truth. Again, I will refer to a poem by Nissim Ezekiel. It's a poem which has been a part of syllabus in our university for a long time, The Night of the Scorpion. Here, a mother is stung by a scorpion on a rainy night, and many people around her, her neighbors, her family, other people, they come, and how they deal with this problem that she has been stung by a scorpion is depicted. The villagers who come to search, they want to kill the scorpion as per their belief that, as you know, the scorpion runs throughout, the poison will run in the mother's body. They comfort the mother that it's your past sins that you were stung by a scorpion, or maybe that because you were stung by a scorpion, so the sufferings will be lessened for your future births. Even a godman is called. The godman tries to extract the poison through chants, mantras, and supernatural intervention. The child whose mother has been stung, she observes the father trying to cauterize the wound, and in their own way, everyone tries to help the woman, and the mother gets well the next day. Here, everyone, we can call them different disciplines. They come together, they offer whatever knowledge they have, and they try to resolve the problem how to get the woman out of the pain. So we all have different perspectives on what our knowledge is, our knowledge of the elephant. In this slide, there are three women who are wearing different colored glasses, and they are, commenting on the color of the elephant, whether it's green, it's yellow, or it's a blue, or whatever color. It tells us how we, or the different disciplines, observe the problem of research through different lenses. Now we are coming to the question, what is interdisciplinary research? According to Marilyn Stember, interdisciplinary research integrates knowledge and methods from different disciplines using a synthesis of approaches. Now we have many types of interdisciplinary researches. We have intradisciplinary research where we use a single subject or the knowledge of a single subject to delve into research questions. We have multidisciplinary approach, we have transdisciplinary approach, and then there is interdisciplinary approach, which we are going to deal. In its most basic sense, interdisciplinary research is a form of research which draws from two or more disciplines or subjects in order to gain a well-rounded understanding of the research questions and arrive at a satisfactory outcome by addressing the gaps in the knowledge that are there. Some people consider IDR as just another fancy term. It's being thrown around a lot in academic circles, in literary circles. Everybody's talking about it. Some people think that it's just a passing fad. But the truth is that interdisciplinary studies have existed long before this term was actually coined, and it's been around for a lot longer time than we give it credit for. A little bit of history. So, in the earliest stages, the study of literature involved a rigorous, close analysis of literary works in isolation. They avoided dialogue with other disciplines. They did not care what the others had to say. Whatever has been written between the covers, that was the focus of research. But gradually, this approach was reviewed, and other disciplines started being included in the research. It was acknowledged that literary works were far more rooted in the particular way of life, and this started the study of literature in cultural context, or the cultural studies, because literature is very deeply rooted and moored in the culture where it is written. Now, culture represents the values and meanings which are specific to a society at a particular time, at a particular space, at a particular location. We have a certain fixed set of elements which define culture. So, culture became a decisive influence on the study of literature. Gradually, more and more subjects were brought into the ambit of literary research. Now, what is the connection between literature and other disciplines? Now, we already know that psychology, sociology, history, economics, and politics influence our existence to a great extent. Wherever we are living, whatever we are doing, it is greatly affected by elements from these subjects, as also the physical situations that are going on around us. To overlook the influence of these subjects only gives a one-dimensional, peek or look into the literary text. It's just like, closing one eye and looking at it in one way only. Now, humanities does not deal with non-living things. The humanities deals with human beings. So it's imperative that anything that touches, influences human behavior will definitely influence literature. Therefore, the importance of interdisciplinary research in literature is established. Interdisciplinary approach enhances the quality of research by applying alternative perspectives to the research question and efforts. It offers new concepts and insights into the problems that we are encountering. Most academic disciplines were developed by people working in different fields with specific focus. The various disciplines in humanities see their contribution to human knowledge as being superior and more essential to humanity than other disciplines. A person who is, offering or studying scientific insight will think that, human existence is due to science only. A politician will say that politics is most important. An economist will say that, without economics, there will be nothing. Propounder of ethics will say that without ethics, human existence is not good at all. So what happens is that everybody thinks that my point of view is most supreme, it is best, but the expertise of each one of these people is limited to their own field. This results in that situation, the blind man situation, where everyone tries to prove that I am right and the others are wrong. The one who has the ear will say, no, no, the elephant is like a fan. The other one will definitely argue, no, no, it's like a rope, it's like a wall. And they will never arrive at the proper conclusion because none of them can see the entire truth. They are only blinded by their own one-sided approach to the problem and whatever they are observing. Interdisciplinary studies, they integrate and compare multiple disciplines in their scope. Their methods, approaches, insights offered by all these subjects are integrated into one aspect. It makes connections between ideas from these different disciplines and the concepts which are being propounded by these various disciplines. Now, in humanities, the boundaries of disciplines are not sharp, they're not defined. Okay, we cannot say that this falls within the scope of politics and politics only. It will definitely seep into some other language, some other works. They merge into one another, all these subjects. So when we study Plato, we study Socrates, we study Aristotle, we don't study them only in political science, but even in sociology, we hear the theories of Aristotle along with Hobbes, Locke. Then there in literature, again in criticism, and again in history or republic, we study. In multiple, aspects, we study it. Public administration, governance, it has much in common with political science. And this extend into history and then into literature and then into civics and other subjects. Then economics will go hand in hand with mathematics, and then mathematics will go into the realm of physics. But physics has a close connection with other sciences, like let's say chemistry. Chemistry will go with biology. And in a similar way, history, math, philosophy, they are also very hard to separate into distinct identities or distinct compartments. The boundaries of one discipline always fade into the others. And we are like left wondering, are we actually justified in compartmentalizing this knowledge? Because there is one human being. We cannot put him into history or political or his, existence, his, let us say, way of thinking in one compartment. He needs everything. He has his historical things also. He needs politics also. He needs society. We have to study him through psychology. And there are so many other things. Latest is anthropology. And in this, interdisciplinary research comes into play. Because interdisciplinary research encapsulates the diversity, complexity, and bonuses of merging literary studies with other methodologies which are offered by other subjects. Aristotle and Freud are proven interdisciplinary theorists. Their works easily slip into disciplines such as philosophy, polity, sociology, literature, and not just Aristotle and Freud. I've just taken two examples. There are many other theorists throughout history who have been like propounding and inventing, discovering things in many realms. Literature, because we are talking about literature, so we have to know that literature is a product of human emotion, human imagination, human knowledge, and human interactions within themselves, within the society, with the environment, and with everything around them. It cannot be studied in isolation from life. The researcher empathizes not just with the characters, but with their social, sociological, psychological, economic, political, medical, ecological situations, which bring them to the place that they are. I'm just naming a few. Of course, as we said, every knowledge that we have here has been propounded and discovered by human beings. So naturally, they are affected by everything that goes on, every discipline that is going on around us. Other than this, there is race, gender, climate, war, and so many other things which affect the responses of human beings. They guide their predicament, how they will react under such situation, or how you will react under such situation. In life, we cannot ascribe any situation to a single contributing factor. Literature cannot be studied through one lens either. It has to be studied in relation to other branches of studies. The approaches and methodologies applied to the study of literature have evolved throughout history in accordance with the help of literature, the type of literature being written in those eras. As literature starts raising more and more complex issues, we need to bring in advanced tools and methodologies for research in the area of literature. Because when we study, let us if we take an example, initially only plot was important, so only literary aspects were studied, characters and other things. Then gradually with the world war we started going in for psychological approaches, and then in the other ways we started going to cultural studies, and other approaches were gradually included in literary research. Now I'm quoting from Shubha Tiwari. She says, "It is interesting to note that 1920 onwards, almost all the schools of criticisms owe their origin to disciplines other than criticism. Anthropologists, philosophers, cultural historians, psychologists all have found universal patterns in understanding life and knowledge. Now, it's not bound by the fact that they are using the scientific tools or they are using statistical tools, but knowledge from one branch has always been used to enhance the understanding of literature through human interactions." When we work in an interdisciplinary way, we maintain the essence of the particular qualities of literature. We are being mindful of the common grounds that it shares with history, with philosophy, with anthropology, psychology, sociology, economics, politics, and other related disciplines. When we go in for an immersive study of literature, we cannot exclude disciplines beyond the usual scope of literature. Usually, what we do is that we just take the routine questions in study, like we are saying the role of women in Shakespeare. We have portrayal of freedom fighters in R.K. Narayan, let's say, or portrayal of freedom, education. These themes we are taking up, but in the recent times we are taking more and more interest in the other aspects, other approaches. Although it has already been there, we are still getting a new perspective on it. So linguistics, theory, and exclusive literary devices are no longer the only tool to measure the excellence of a literary work. Any topic that connects knowledge and life automatically becomes an integral part of the literary research in these modern times. So when we read Dalit literature or war poetry, we cannot go by the usual canons of research, but we need to consider these social, political, economic conditions in which the literature was written, in addition to the historical, psychological, medical, gender related aspects, which are increasingly forming the core of our existence, and they are increasingly giving newer insights into literature. When we work in watertight academic conditions, our vision is limited. Like the blindfolded men of the parable, they can only grope in the dark, they can only look at one part, they can only feel it, the elephant's anatomy. It confines our thinking. Literature is all about maintaining our curiosity. It gives us fresh perspectives, it gives us novel concepts, new possibilities, what can be, what we can approach. And in this, interdisciplinary research plays a big part here. The term methodological promiscuity has been propounded by Elizabeth Zeng, which refers to the interference or bringing in of newer aspects of research from other disciplines into literature. This aptly sums up the nature of interdisciplinary research. Many approaches can be employed together with the methods of literary research. Why is interdisciplinary research so desirable? It is desirable because it fills the gaps in the knowledge that were there. They synthesize the ideas and methods from various disciplines across all humanity subjects. They integrate the methods and approaches from these disciplines, which are part of humanities, and they connect the new ideas, new concepts across various disciplines. They give us new areas to study. They give us, a better approach, newer methods, and a fresh perspective on the research that has already been done. What are the benefits of interdisciplinary research? The interdisciplinary approach, it facilitates the development of integrative, multi-level model of text understanding. It is assimilative, it's accepting in nature, it is ready to accept new ideas, it allows new perspectives from different disciplines. It enables the researcher to recognize the complex interactions of culture and literature. It enhances the quality of research by applying alternative perspectives to the research questions. It offers a new insight into literature. Interdisciplinary research is gaining more popularity by providing a complex analysis as compared to the traditional research approaches where we take a writer, we take a particular work, and we go for other things. It includes cinema, it includes anthropology, documentaries, and it gives us a better perspective. To sum up, literature and literature criticism are significant in creating the meaning and value of our societies. Now, literature is conceived through a union of specific times, places, cultures, and the writer's sensitivity. The author uses his pen to give voice to marginalized experiences, unique experiences, against the backdrop of large, homogeneous experiences. The interdisciplinary approach to analysis of texts allows us to indicate and describe understanding based on knowledge from various subjects like philosophy, science, race, gender, film, anthropology, art, and music. It Hello, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am, you're audible.
Okay. So with this, I have come to the end of my presentation. For any questions, I'm open. You can also contact me on this email ID that I'm displaying.
Thank you very much, ma'am. And the house would take all the participants are requested to come up with all the questions or queries if they have any. Any query or questions on the part of the participants are welcome. It was a very beautiful presentation, ma'am. The way you gave a literary touch to the presentation by introducing the parable of blind man and elephant, and also the poem. So it is a kind of you have woven everything like all the ideas with the thread of literature. It was wonderful. Thank you very
Thank you
much.
so much.
Uh, So before we come to the end of the session, I have a very important announcement to make here. There is 3-day International Multilingual Virtual Conference coming, which will be which will be done on literature, language, linguistics, and culture in subject of English, Kannada, and Hindi. And the conference is starting on 27th of March, and it will be there up to 29th of March 2023. The conference is being organized by the Department of Language, St. Francis College, Koramangala, Bangalore, in collaboration with Cape Comorin Trust, India. So, finally, again, I want to extend my thanks to our esteemed speakers of this evening, Dr. Nada Retkovic and Dr. Dipali Bhandari, for your valuable insights into the topics. I also want to thank all the participants for their attention and valuable patience, of course. I congratulate all on the successful completion of the workshop. So do explore the forthcoming 3-day conference. Thank you very much. Thank you to all and namaskaram. Goodbye.